Hello, you're watching Of New X, and today let's talk about a recently finished airing Chinese web drama, 凡城之下, Ripe Town. This is a 12 episodes short web drama that has finished airing on the platform Tencent. It is written and directed by the same person, Wang Zheng. Although this is a short drama, only 12 episodes, each episode's length is highly uneven. We have 45 minutes or so episodes, but we also have, for example, the last episode, 1 hour and 40 minutes. The drama is led by Bai Yufan, Ning Li, Liu Yitong, Xiang Hanzhi, also featuring Zhang Haowei, Zeng Li. It was shot from March to June 2022, mostly in Hengdian. I binge-watched this whole drama in one go after it has finished releasing all the episodes, and I had a really uneven watching experience, starting with a lot of anticipation. First couple of episodes, pretty good, and then it starts to slack off, and then I start to realize this drama structurally actually has a lot of problems. Then towards the end, I really was dragging myself to watch the rest of the episodes, and mostly due to my interest in one particular character and actor. If it wasn't for that person, I wouldn't even finish watching this drama. Because of this, personally, it's kind of hard for me to rate Ripe Town. There are parts of it I really appreciate and really like, and I can recognize it is of very high quality. Then there are parts that, on very basic levels of drama productions, that it hasn't really done very well. If I have to give it a rating on my 7-level scale, I'll put it somewhere between the middle ground and 1 gold mine. As usual, let me first introduce you to the story, and then we're gonna go into the details. This is an original creation of a fictional crime story happening during Ming Dynasty with a very specific year, and that would be in the early 1610s. And Ming Dynasty at the end of it is famous for its high corruption on everything and everywhere. We are in a county in Jiangnan, which actually is very rich, a very important tax revenue source for the nation. In this county, a murder in very horrendous and weird way soon became very obvious. It's not a single case, but a serial killer doing all the horrendous murders. Our main character is a young policeman. He has a 师傅, a teacher, who he respected as much as his own father. The murder becomes very personal to this young policeman because his 师傅 is also one of the victims. He soon finds out this is actually related to another big case that happened 2 decades ago in the same county of a fire that burned down a very rich man's household and killed everybody. A mysterious case that never got broken. Along his way of investigation, you will see other characters joining in, such as the character played by Ning Li, who is technically equivalent to today's chief of police of that county, as the other, if you have to classify in the drama, male lead, as all criminal stories would eventually inevitably fall onto the discussion of the human psyche, of the human heart, the dark side of things, human nature exploration, all that type of thing. Now, let's get into the details about what is great about this drama and what is highly problematic in my opinion. On the positive side, point number 1, this is, if you look at only the hardware of the period drama production, one of the best ones you have so far in 2023. It has very high production quality standard. All actors use their own voice. Its visual is also on the higher end. Although personally, I am not a huge fan of its color grading style and how it deals with contrast, I do appreciate its very carefully planned framing. It's the drama I've seen so far in 2023. I think that is the most conscious of the framing of every frame and every scene. You really can tell the creatives of this drama put a lot of attention, maybe even a little bit too much, because I feel they should put more attention on the script writing. That will help the drama a lot more. It's just really good work, probably cost a lot of extra time and effort to frame the drama, almost in every scene, in the most ideal and Chinese aesthetic essence of Chinese painting style. So far, I don't think this year I've seen another drama that has done this level of intentional design of framing. I highly suggest you check out this drama, even just for this one thing. Point number 2, couple of actors that really helped me go through this drama. I'll just talk about 2 among the 3 actors that I really enjoyed their performances, because if I talk about the third, I kind of spoil it for you. So the 2 obvious ones, and wouldn't really spoil the story for you because they show up very early on in the story, are the character played by Ning Li, who is the police chief of that county, and a young man, a teenager servant character played by the young actor Yu Yao. One is such an experienced and interesting actor, so unique in dramaland and also in filmland. I don't think he needs extra introduction. And I know what he's capable of, and I was just in there to enjoying his acting. I pretty much watched till the end for him. The other is a brilliant young man. I was captivated by his performance. Bright future ahead. For me to enjoy this drama, it really in this drama is Ning Li's character, not Bai Yufan's character. Although technically speaking, Bai Yufan's role, the young policeman, is our through line, is our narrative angle, is our perspective character. There's a lot of script level problems with that character, therefore his performance, no matter how hard he tries, is just not gonna work perfectly. As opposed to Ning Li's character is much easier to understand and much more coherent and making a lot more sense. There are a couple of scenes in this drama that are focused on Ning Li's role, the kind of impossible to defeat difficulties he has in his life, the wrongs that has been done on him that technically and realistically will never be able to undo, and he will suffer that all his life. Huge ambition and talent he has as a character that could never get fully actualized and fulfilled. He has a couple of scenes that will show the struggle of this person, and it was so beautifully acted. Even though technically it actually has nothing to do with the main crime that's being investigated in this drama, I so enjoyed his performance of those couple of scenes. So the second thing about this drama that I highly appreciate is a couple of really good actors and really good performances. Then my third positive point about this drama is really looking for the silver lining. This is done by a author, director, writer, and this is his first time doing a drama. I cannot imagine the amount of pressure this person would be under. Taking that into consideration, even when this drama has a lot of problems and imperfect, I am also really impressed by the great things this drama has done. So this is already better than a lot of crappy stuff we've seen in Chinese dramaland done by people who's been working in the business for decades. It's just a job. For them, it's not passion, it's not love. Everybody has eyes, can see that this drama has its merits and a lot of great things. So now let's talk about a couple of really big hiccups I've had with this drama and I think are detrimental to why this story, when it first started airing, got a lot of attention, but most of the people who watched till the end would agree and complain that it's a form of the tail got broken and rotten story. Very good start, and it tapers down all the way until in the end you're like, what the heck am I watching? I'll break that down to three main points, in my opinion, are the biggest problems of this drama. Number one, not creating a very successful and easy to empathize and easy for audiences to get into main character. This is a very clearly from the first episode, a perspective main character's journey story. Qu Sangeng, the character played by Bai Yufan, the young policeman who investigates a serial murder that started with the death of his shifu. So that's his motivation, personal and also his duty to find out who is the killer. Easiest way to make this story immediately engaging is to make this character somebody that audiences feel very easy to relate to. Unfortunately, this drama failed at doing that. Bai Yufan is an actor who's been around for quite some years. I have watched pretty much everything he has been in as a main role or as a supporting role. He's a pretty good actor and having a really interesting background, and I think more veered towards the proper actor, serious actor, not the popular idol kind of actor. Yet, his character in this drama is the most unlikable role I've seen him playing, and it's partly due to, I think, the direction of his acting sometimes just didn't quite work out. Then a lot of that is to do with the design of this character. It's so boring. It has a very low air pressure. When he is around, everything feels just sagging and lagging and having that pull you down energy. And he's constantly this unhappy, complaining, dragging along through the mud of your emotional sphere person. Basically the type of person you don't want to be friend with. I don't understand why would you want to write a character who is so important to be somebody who is just so hard for anybody to like. Not say love, like is hard. It's a pain for you to continue watching this guy who is just so negative on everything and who actually does absolutely unforgivable and stupid move towards the end of the drama. He did something I'm like, what the heck are you trying to do, scriptwriter? And I don't think it's forgivable for any main character to do things he did. And by that point, I was like, I'm here for Ningli. I'm here for Ningli. I'm just gonna watch Ningli's performance, and that's why I'm watching this drama. Forget there is another male lead in this drama. Just ignore he exists. Otherwise, I can't continue. It is really that bad. Number 2, this drama has a narrative angle shift problem that I don't think they've figured out properly, and it causes a lot of confusion. Without spoiling it, at the beginning of the drama, you think it's a perspective character of Bai Yufan's role, the investigator, the policeman going on this journey of investigating the murder and 20 years old cold case. At a certain point of the story, it actually has already shifted the narrative angle to the murderer. But it doesn't tell you, it doesn't suggest you anything, it doesn't give you a clue. It just suddenly shifts, and for a long time you actually are not quite sure about why you're looking at this part of the story until later you realize, shit, we're looking at it from the murderer's angle, and it's just weird to do that. For a very short drama, you only have 12 episodes. You're not doing Game of Thrones, that before everybody started watching, we already know this drama has multiple narrators and it's gonna shift and everybody gets reasonably introduced. Whereas this is a 12-episode drama that's really just about one murder case, and you start this drama clearly having a through-line character, and somewhere without telling you, they switched it. And you don't realize when the switch happened until much later, and it got really confusing. Obviously, you'll figure that out later, but it's a very uncomfortable shift. And I don't see what good purpose it serves for the narrative. I mean, for a case-breaking drama, when you do that, it actually basically spoils the drama before that final thing needs to get delivered. Who would do that to their own story? So it's very confusing on the level of the narrative and the story itself, but also on the intention of the creator. So that's another big problem in the writing. Then finally, the last point is about the two bad guys, who are the current serial murderer, who is doing the murders for a purpose of revenge of the 20 years ago cold case of a fire. And the other bad person is the person who's responsible for the 20 years ago death of a whole big family. One of them is so absent from the story until the very, very end that because of his absence, you almost already guessed that's the person. You see, if he is casually inserted in the drama throughout as a normal character who is a supporting role, then you probably wouldn't suspect it that much. But because this person almost never shows up, like just for the first time, he needs to be introduced, he shows up and then disappears for the whole drama, never shows up. Even in situations where it makes complete logical sense for that person to be there, not there. Because of the long absence of this character, you know he is in it and he's gonna show up at the end, and everybody guessed it. So another problem in the writing that spoils itself. And this character, although written in such a just like awkward way, is a very complete character. He has a very good reason, clear arc, and you can really sympathize with him. Motivation, everything is all in place, and the performance of that person is really, really good. In that sense, he's a successful character. It's just the way he gets put into the story doesn't serve the crime investigation, mystery breaking story's purpose. Then the other bad person who is responsible for the 20 years ago fire case guy. What am I supposed to say about the writing of this character? A very typical tool person. He needs to do this and that bad thing so that we can have the story. Otherwise, it wouldn't even have the beginning. For him to fulfill all those narrative purposes and functions, they didn't really give this character a reasonable enough arc. He lacks very clear, understandable, relatable internal motives. You can only see that he is a very calculative, clever person who, selfishly enough, just wants everything for himself. But in terms of the calamity he causes, there really isn't enough reasoning for it to happen compared to the other bad person who did the 20 years later murder. There's no humanity in this person, and there's no motivation for this person to be the way he is. Even till the last moment, you still don't feel he's real human. You cannot relate to him on emotional level, on any type of understanding level. While you really appreciate the acting, I mean, I highly appreciate the acting of the actor playing this role, but the role itself is not worked out properly and is being given tasks to do solely for the purpose of pushing the story forward. I mean, even compared to Bai Yufan's 师傅 role, the Leng Butou, the head of detective who got murdered at the beginning of the story that propelled our whole investigation. Even that character, although he's not a good person has much more full personality, humanity, complicated sides. You really understand where he comes from, even when he does wrong things. And it's a pity that the most important bad guy of our story ended up being a very two-dimensional, very functional, but not relatable person. These are the three most important problems I can see in this drama, and then other less important things such as the payoff at the end is not as exciting. Eventually you're like, I've already watched 10 episodes, might as well just stick through the last two. And then you see the last one is 1 hour and 40 minutes. It actually doesn't make you happy. It makes you, holy shit, I have to watch basically 3 episodes. All the time you've already spent before is like holding you down there and watching it. And then when you see certain character you really like dies, and dies on such a unnecessary point and in such a way, for that moment I really wanted to jump into the shot and then just grab on the director and shake his shoulder and was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's why I cannot rate this drama very high, and the parts that it fails catastrophically for me, but there are good things it has done, okay? Using the highest definition possible and screenshot this drama, you will get a lot of free desktop images. So that should conclude my opinion on the 12 episodes short period crime investigation drama from Tencent, 凡城之下, Ripe Town. Thank you for watching Up New X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.